Okay, I know what you're thinking. Why is this idiot putting guitar amps on literally everything? And honestly, I don't know. But that's exactly what we're going to find out in this video.
Yes! Rock and roll!
All right, cool. Yeah, we get it. Everybody knows that guitar amps sound great on guitars. That's easy. But now let's do something stupid here. And the reason vintage amps have survived for decades isn't because guitar players are so nostalgic. It's because these things add something that modern plugins, EQs, and processors often don't. Character, movement, personality. So today, we're putting these new Ampknobs from Bogren Digital on guitars, bass, vocals, synths, horns, drum rooms, and maybe the weirdest thing I've ever run through a guitar amp. Let's just see what happens. All right, so what do we got here? We got two new Ampknobs. They're Fender inspired, obviously. And because we have Marco here today,
Almost there. I almost got it.
we're going to be able to hear him play through these because he's a better guitar player than me. But there are two different amps here, and I just want to break these down really simply because that's the beauty of these plugins, and I think maybe the best part about them is they're really simple and basic, and they just sound really good. So what takes you forever on another amp sim plugin to like dial in that tone that you're looking for out of it takes you like 2 seconds on this. So all we got here on the Duet, we have a power, obviously on and off. You got your volume, which is basically your driving into the input and giving you more distortion or less distortion, more of a clean sound. You have this vibrato switch on and off and a pedal on and off. The pedal will give you like a little bit more gain. So it sounds really, really nice. And you've heard a little bit of it in the intro. And then there's some really cool ass features in this thing that just sound insanely good. And I'm highly impressed by these plugins. The only reason they're on this channel is because I really fuck with them. So we got this room knob here. The room sounds amazing. If you turn up that room knob and then you go to this effects tab, you can see the rest of the amp here and take a little reverb up. You get a little reverb tail and then a little room, and it sounds like you're hearing a guitar from the distance in a cool club, you know? It's really, really good. And then the vibrato here and the speed of the vibrato. Turn the reverb on and off, and that'll turn on and off the reverb and vibrato here, okay? Super, super simple. Other features you got, little built-in tuner, sick. Everybody loves a tuner. All guitar players should be in tune. And then we got cab one. We have an alt cab, and then you can switch between a big cab. You can load up your own impulse responses, or you can do no cab and just take it out to whatever cab you want to take it out to. Okay, so pretty dope. And this is all this IRDX technology, which allows you to, you know, load up your own IRs. Okay, so this is really, really cool, and it sounds incredible. I would say that this is for that big, open, clean, kind of spanky, little bit of attitude reverb sound, right? And then here we go, our second one, the Fatman, which is probably my favorite out of the two, and I think Marco agrees, right?
Yes! Rock and roll!
There you go. Affirmative. What this amp is obviously like, it's a tweed kind of style, Fender Blues Deluxe kind of style vibe, and very, very simple. We have this boost, we have the volume, we have the reverb. That's it. Power on and off. And of course you have the cab switching as well, where you have the match cab 4x12 bass cab, which is nice. It gives this like nice woolly kind of sound, really warm. And then you can load your own IRs here. So let's hear these from a guitar player's perspective. Since we do have Marco here, let's have him play through each of these. We'll start with the Duet, and we're going to do some rhythm and then some lead. absolutely beautiful sounding, right? Very open. It can go from this like really nice, chill dynamic to being driven and being in your face and impactful, and it's super, super dynamic. That's the thing that shocks me the most about these plugins. They're very, very dynamic. You have to demo them, try them out yourself. I'll leave a link in the description so you can definitely check these out and just play with them. I think you'll be super impressed by how easy they are to get the tone you're looking for. But let's move on and listen to the Fatman. So on this one, we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna have Marco just play some rhythms, and I'm gonna have him do some lead stuff, and I'm gonna tweak the knobs so you guys can really hear what's going on here. Cool. Now you satisfied all the guitar players out there that are needing that. They're like, let me hear the guitar going through them. But that's kind of boring, right? Everybody knows guitars sound great through amp sims. Got it. They're made for guitars. But let's mess with these, right? Let's throw this on the bass. First thing I did, I duplicated the bass so that we can have a bit of a parallel, right? So here's a clean bass here, and we're just gonna listen to it, and then I'm gonna pop in the parallel, and then we're gonna just drive these amps, the Fatman, and we're gonna blend in. And this is a really cool way to do this with bass if you're making a mix and you want the bass to keep all the low end, right? All the subby stuff, but you wanna add that like bzzz, that buzzy kind of mid. So check this out. So here's the dry bass. And now let's blend in parallel this other bass, which I duplicated, and I popped on both of these amps. So I have the Fatman and I have the Duet going in serial. Now I'm just gonna start with the Fatman, and let's just drive this bish. All right, so that's the Fatman going in parallel with the dry bass. Let's just listen to the parallel signal. So here's 100% wet, just going through the Fatman. All right, and that bass setting is really cool, that bass cab. It's just like this fat, warm, kind of fuzzy thing going on. Really cool. I like the match cab, to be honest with you. I like the grit and the mid-range. But now let's go to the Duet and let's drive the bass with this, because this is actually my favorite for bass, like just distorting bass. Both are very, very cool. They have a little bit of a different vibe, obviously. But now let's throw them in serial, because I always love doing this kind of shit, just like see what happens if we go through both of them. With the pedal on, with the boost on, 100% volume, 100% volume. Let's gain it out. Let's go crazy with it. There are no rules to this shit. Let's hear it. And then we're going to blend it in with the dry bass. It's so cool with that room too. We just get like that stereo bass fuzz. Like it feels really cool. But this is with bass. Let's move on. Let's mess around with some synths and stuff, and just understand, like, when you're using these kind of vintage amps, what you're really doing is much more than just EQing, much more than just saturating. You know, we're getting a lot of options here. We have the room mics, we have the reverb, we have the vibrato, we have different pedals and gain and boost, and the way that they're actually like interacting with the signal is much different than just throwing a distortion on there. So let's hear it on synth, let's hear it on drum rooms, and finally I'll take you to that last thing that is kind of funky. I don't know, maybe you guys will like it, but something I've never put through guitar amps before, and it's kind of goofy, but you might like it, who knows. Analog synths, let's see what we can do here. And before we just like drive it through the guitar amp, like that's cool and everything, but let's really explore some of these other things that are involved in these amps. First off, I'm going to cab 3, which is going to be the bass cab, and that's because this is kind of like an ARPed bass synth sort of thing. I'll let you hear it real quick here. All right, so it's already got a little bit of grit in it, sawtooth wave kind of vibe. It's coming from the Trigon 6, which is an amazing analog synth. I absolutely love it. But let's start to mess around with some of this stuff. One of my favorite features on this is the room, like I talked about. Both of these amp knobs, they have this incredible room sound. So let's just start blending in a little bit of this with the reverb. Like that alone is so cool. Just gives a really cool texture. If you're mixing something and you're like, dude, this synth is like right up front with the vocal, it's stepping on it. This might be a really cool way to push it back in the mix and get it out of the way of a vocal or another guitar that's ripping up front, etc. So that's awesome. And let's go back to matched cab here. Let's turn on the boost and let's start to drive this a little bit and get it really dry. And then we'll start to reverberate it out a little bit. Absolutely f***ing fun as hell, right? I could do this all day and just mess with these, but let's check out the duet on a synth because I'm curious now the differences. Let's start to bring the volume. Let's like just give it a slight edge, a little bit of dirt. We'll turn the pedal on to get a little gain going. And then what I want to do here is just mess with the room and let's kill the reverb, right? And just mess with this room and giving it a little bit of hair and a little drive. So much more than just drive, so much more than just distortion. We're getting different EQ curves, shaping the sound, using different amp cabs. We're, using the pedals and the drive. Those add a little bit of a different color to them. But we're also just getting this really cool depth, this stereoizing of like the sound. There's just a lot more to amps than there is to just, oh, it's just distortion, bro. You're just distorting the sound. If you think that, you really got to go get a hearing test, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But let's move on. What was that?
Now that's the one.
All right. Now let's move on. Let's check this out on some drum room mics and really blast out the drums. All right, drum room mics. These are always fun to just crush. Like, I love a drum room mic just smashed to hell. And you don't have to do much to do that when you put them through a guitar amp. It just sounds cool as fuck. And then we're just gonna blend it in, but also remember, like right when I turn this on, I don't have any volume going and I don't have the boost on, but just listen to how it just shapes things differently as I flip through the cabs. Like, this is a testament to the way that these amps sound, the head of them, but also the actual cab as well. Check this out. All right, so right away you're getting like this weird shaping going on as it's going through the tubes of the amp, and then it's coming out this cab that's a different speaker size, etc. There's a lot going on just right there to shape your sound. I really like the 4x12 on this, on the drums. And now let's start to turn on the boost and start to drive it. So much energy from just throwing the room mics through this amp. So think about duplicating your snare drum or maybe whatever you need, right? For a chorus, and you turn the amp on and it's just, you know, it just makes things just go, whoa, it feels explosive to me. So let's move on though. Because I get really amped up about drums. I'm a drummer. So my first instrument I ever fell in love with, and I started drumming when I was like 12 years old. So a little bit about me. I know you didn't ask.
Bro, you got any more salsa?
What? Marco, god damn. Aren't you gonna go home?
Nah.
All right, let's get into some vocals. Now here's a really cool trick with vocals when you want to hit a part that's like, this has got to like be elevated, like a chorus, or you get to a bridge and you want to change the texture, the timbre. You want to get things like really interesting. Maybe it's a part where everything drops out, you know, and you got this vocal thing that's like front and center and it's got to be really crazy. Whatever it is, right? This is a special effect. I've duplicated the lead vocal and now I have a parallel vocal that we're throwing through the Fatman. And the Fatman, I am on cab 2. We might go to bass cab, I don't know. But we also have this room knob, remember. So we're driving all the way, we got the boost on, no reverb, no room right now. Let's hear it. Thoughts that haunt you at night, it's the memory that you can't leave behind, you're alone. God, that room is so good. Now let's blend it in with the lead vocal here. So lead vocal, and then this is going to be the parallel, and we're hitting this chorus. So the chorus got to be really interesting and just like we're going to give it this grit. So I got the fader all the way down here, right? And I'm going to start bringing it in. Thoughts that haunt you at night, it's the memory that you can't leave behind, you're alone. And I love that in a vocal that has like, it has this desperation in it, and you start to hear just the breakup of the amp starting to like, it's like, yeah, it adds to the desperation of the singing, right? So let's pop it in the mix now. Check it out. And it sits so nicely. It gives this really cool dimension because that room reverb, it's like sits back there and it just like distorts and it's about to break. Now let's listen to these amps through something that you would never expect to put through an amp. But why not? I want to have some fun with y'all. And if you're enjoying the video, drop some love in the comments. Hit the thumbs up. It helps everything about the channel. Really appreciate you guys tuning in, having fun with me, and learning about some new plugins and shit. These plugins are incredible, by the way. Like, just try them on guitar, try them on bass, throw them on your vocals. You're gonna fall in love with them. I guarantee it. If not, you know, just don't buy them. Like, just demo them and be like, okay, I didn't like it. But definitely check them out. All right, last but not least, that thing I promised you, and that is a little weird to throw through an amp, but I had to try it because it's just fun. And these guys are really cute, so I had my dogs do some howling for me. Let's listen to what they had to say. All right, boys, I need you to howl for the video. So we got some hound dog howls. Let's find a good spot for this. I think Freddie had a good howl here. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's a great one right there. So let's throw this through the Fatman and give it some drive. And what I want you to pay attention to is not that, like, you know, this is crazy, like guitar going howls and dog howls, it's crazy. But like, listen to the harmonics that it wraps around these howls. And this is really what vintage amps are all about. It's all these harmonics and these indiscrepancies and these non-linearities that kind of make it cool, you know? All right, there you go. That's a new sound effect for your next record there. So these are the Ampknobs, the new Fender-inspired ones from Bogren Digital. You guys definitely check these out. Again, I'll leave a link in the description. Tap in, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. If you got something out of the video, maybe you got a few laughs from Marco over here. Woo! You know, just show some love. Hit the like, all right? I'll see you guys next time. Peace.